Hi everyone, welcome to my podcast, Content Creator Journey. This is the episode number 6. Today with me, Sonya. She's a product marketing manager for the biscuits manufacturer in the UK. You might know her on TikTok because she does interesting advice/news on the retail world. Welcome, Sonya.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
How are you today? You
I'm
okay?
doing I'm doing good. It's a beautiful Monday here in the UK. The sun is shining, which
Yeah,
happens very
exactly.
rarely. So, you have to make the best out of it.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. The less we need to go out, spend as much time as you can out until start to rain. So um, for our my listeners that they don't know you, can you tell a bit about yourself, what you're doing? And yeah,
Sure, yeah, no problem. My name is Sonia. As you already said, I'm a product marketing manager. What does that mean? I am the custodian, the guardian of products, of brands. I look after their 3-year plans, product innovation, comms strategy, and everything that has to do with launching them into supermarkets across the UK. I have been doing this for 8 years now. I'm
Mhm.
originally German. I moved to the UK 10 years ago, and I fell in love with marketing, and I fell in love with food marketing in particular. So most of my experience is in food and drink. I've worked for Müller Yogurts, one of the biggest yogurt manufacturers in the UK. I've worked for big DIY brands like Sellotape. And nowadays, I work for Burton's Biscuits, which looks after brands such as Jammy Dodgers, Wagon Wheels, and some of the UK's most beloved biscuit brands.
Interesting. Can I ask you one question? So, do you have a degree? Do you have a degree?
I
Uh,
do. I have 2 degrees. Yes, I
wow.
am.
Show off,
Wow,
show off.
it's a very good question. So, honestly, when I came out of high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And my mom was an accountant at the time. She was working in accounting, and she was like, "Oh, you should just study business.
Mhm.
And once you study business, you can do whatever you like afterwards." And she always loved numbers, and she always pushed me into finance and math and things like that. So I think she was hoping I would end up in finance. And one of my first courses was Introduction to Business. And I remember the professor was we started talking about marketing, why marketing was important. And I literally sat in that classroom, and I had like an epiphany. I sat there and
Mhm.
I was like, this is what I want to do. I love this.
You got the
And
click.
so it was just a click. It was just a click. And I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know how to get into it. I knew nothing. I was just like, this is what I want to do. And so after the introduction to business, I started taking a lot more marketing courses because I was interested in the subject. And I graduated with a business administration degree in with a focus on marketing and finance actually at the time.
Tough.
And I told my mom, I was like, oh, I want to do a master's in marketing and strategy because within marketing, the field of marketing is very large.
Mm.
The thing that I loved most about it was the strategic aspect of it.
Mm.
And my mom was not convinced. And actually, one of my professors had to convince her. He had
No
a
way.
two-hour conversation with her. He had to convince her that marketing was a field that you where you could earn money, because she didn't understand what it was, and she was like, no, you can't
Mhm.
make money in this. And he convinced her, and I was very happy. And so I went on to do a degree in marketing and strategy at Warwick Business School here in the UK. And it was great. I loved it. I loved everything about it. And just as I came out of university, a
Mhm.
lot of businesses came onto campus to, advertise their graduate roles, and I was hired straight into Muller Yogurts. And so I stayed there for a while, and I switched jobs a couple of times since then. But yeah, I've always stayed within that field of product marketing.
Wow. Wow. Long journey, but your mother is German. Do you say is German as a culture is they're very strict?
Yes yes and no, but I think, parents always want the best for their
Exactly.
children.
It's
And
true.
it's scary for them to see their children go into something that they don't fully understand. And in my case, my mother still doesn't fully understand what I do. I mean, she's like, "Oh, you do advertising." I was like, "Not quite." Art advertising is part of my job, but it's difficult to understand what marketing is if you're not really into marketing. And so it's a very inaccessible field. I feel it's a very complicated field to get into, which is one of the reasons how I got into TikTok and one of the ways how you found me.
Exactly. Exactly. Long story short, exactly.
I'm sorry, Joe.
Let's connect straight away to what you said. I came to you through TikTok, which was great because I like marketing. So the algorithm knows a lot. So I came to you, yeah, it's true. But tell me a little bit how, so why did you start to make content? And yes.
Sure. Yeah. So in December, I was going through second lockdown here in the UK, and everybody was talking about this app called TikTok, and I was like, "Oh no, TikTok's for kids." And I downloaded it because I had nothing else to do. And the algorithm was really struggling at the beginning to give me content that I was interested in. So I was like, "Oh, maybe it has stuff about marketing. Who knows?" And so I look at marketing on TikTok, and there's a lot of marketing, but a lot of it is just social media marketing, like how to make your Instagram feed look pretty, how to choose the right colors of your logo. And I was like, that is a part of marketing, but that is not marketing. That is social media marketing.
Mhm.
That is not the marketing that I do every single day and that I'm very passionate about. And so what I started doing is I was like, oh, maybe I can teach people, I can show them another side of marketing, which is product marketing. And I can maybe help small businesses and young entrepreneurs who are launching products, physical products like earrings, creams, eyelashes, all of that stuff, and help them with some of the knowledge that I use every single day at work. And so I remember I made one video about sellotape, on how I developed sellotape and all the thinking that went into sellotape, which sounds boring, but it's actually fascinating. And that video just blew up overnight. Like overnight, people were like, "This is amazing." I had like a bunch of verified TikTokers being like, "I cannot believe this is how much thinking goes into sellotape." And I gained, within 1 month, I gained 15,000 followers, um, which was honestly incredible because I remember I was with my family over Christmas and I was constantly on my phone, and they were like, what is going on?" I was like, "I don't know. I'm going viral. Like I don't know how any of this works." I was so overwhelmed. And so only in January, February, I really started to think, okay, what is my strategy? What do I want to talk about? How can I add value? And here we are in April, and we hit 30,000 followers last week.
Congratulations. But
Thank you.
my first question is, after talking to you, and I I did notice as well, I don't make content on Instagram. I don't know why. I like I prefer to make content on TikTok. But after thinking a little bit, obviously, after I would like to know your opinion about it. Why did you start with TikTok? I initially, because no one from my friends have TikTok. This is one of my first reason. The second reason, I think that in some way the team that works for TikTok built different way. They give you, they trying to show you a different perspective. They basically want to show you that TikTok is another platform, but is another social media. It's different than from Pinterest, Instagram. They want to spread this positivity, start, make, go viral, success. It's a totally different communication that in some way attract people. because yeah, exactly. This is why did you start to make content on TikTok and not on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn as well? LinkedIn.
Is a very good question. So I deleted my Facebook years ago, by the way. So I don't even have Facebook. My Instagram, and you will see this as well. A lot of people have asked me, can I follow you on Instagram? My Instagram is private. I have 30 close friends on my Instagram, and I basically use it like a WhatsApp broadcasting group. If I have something to
Yes,
share with people in my life, I put it on Instagram. The reason why I didn't put it on Instagram at the time was because I always felt Instagram was overly polished, overly perfect. Everything has to look a certain way, certain aesthetic. And I think one of the beauties around TikTok is that you can be really, it's all about being yourself. It's not necessarily about the information that I put out. And if you talk with my followers, they will tell you this. They will say, yes, the information you put out is interesting. Yes, the information you put out is actually quite unique. But they're not following me for the content. A lot of them follow me for my personality. And, I go on lives and I talk with them and I help them do their CVs and I help them prepare for interviews or I help them with business question. It's all about the personal touch. And
agree.
that would have been very difficult on Instagram. And the second thing is Instagram has like zero reach. I mean, one of the reasons why I started TikTok was because I wanted to help people who were launching products. And they're not on Instagram, they're on TikTok. And so if I would have been on Instagram, how would they find me? They wouldn't be able to find me. Whereas on TikTok, actually, what I'm doing nowadays is when I see a video with a question, sometimes I actually answer that video directly. You know, for example, the other day I posted a video, somebody was asking, what can I do to boost my engagement on my candles? And I just stitch the TikTok and I give them like a couple of suggestions. And I'm like, here are just a few ideas what you could do. That would never be possible on a platform like Instagram.
This is how I usually. This is what I usually say. Funny that they close the tab because I believe they close this tab. The tab that comes with water. They close it. No organic reach. But I think is a two different audience. I will say that the audience that is on Instagram, I will say, I don't know if you can relate. When a new technology come out and the earlier, no, they jump, they wanna see. So I will say TikTok is like that, and people that mostly stay on Instagram have the perception that on TikTok there are only kids. But funny thing is, I have a friend that she doesn't have TikTok. She has only Instagram, and I was scrolling. She sometimes she send me reels. Fun. It's super funny when I see the TikTok watermark because they are repurpose the content. That means that the content that you're posting on TikTok perfectly works on Instagram as well.
Absolutely. I think you're absolutely right. Different social media channels have different purposes. And I don't agree with people saying, oh, Instagram is dead, Facebook is dead. They're not dead. They're just different.
Mm.
And for small businesses nowadays, what I see is that Instagram is more like a website. It's more like a website because you have a shop, you showcase pretty pictures, and you post like certain updates like, oh, I just launched something. But it's not
Exactly.
necessarily a platform to engage with your customers or show back of house like insights. So what I see a lot of small businesses do nowadays is they get the reach on TikTok. They build a community on TikTok, they build fans on TikTok, and they redirect people to Instagram as their website.
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
that is great. The other bit in terms of content, which I think is interesting what you just said, TikTok content is amazing for all social media networks. It's great for Instagram, it's great for Facebook, it's great for YouTube because it's video content. And video content has always been, for the last years, it has always been the most engaging content format you can have. What
Exactly.
TikTok has done is it has created a platform where you can easily create video content, because in the past you had to script, you had to find the music, you had to cut it a certain way. Nowadays, you can take a sound, you can create content around that sound, you post it, and you have a perfect video, which was super engaging. The issue is the other way around, it doesn't work. You cannot take Facebook content, you cannot take Instagram content and put it on TikTok. It doesn't work the other way around. It's a one-way street.
Mm. I think everything related to the message, that the platforms and I follow a lot of people on LinkedIn that they are working on TikTok, and I see their message is always positive. Authenticity is another message, and people they know, and you can actually see a lot of people they prefer to make content on TikTok than on Instagram. So yeah, I think it's different. It's totally different. But you can obviously repurpose your content. Absolutely yes. Even because I will say that TikTok has authentic content, so obviously you can repurpose in different platform. So and where do you find all your resources?
That's a good question. So a lot of the information that I put on my TikTok
Mm-hmm.
are um, frameworks that I've learned at work that I use every day. So a lot of it is just organic, my content. And I also follow like other specialists, other experts in the industry. Um, I look at things like Marketing Week, The Grocer, The Com. I follow Mark Ritson. I follow Gary V.
Yeah, I
I
love
follow
it.
like different experts in the area. And I also follow on my LinkedIn, for example, a lot of design agencies, a lot of activation agencies that I work with or that I've worked with in the past, and they put out like case studies, or they put out interesting things that they see, at different trends that they see in the market. And so that is basically my brand on TikTok. My brand is that I talk about food, drink, campaigns that are going on. So in the past, I've been doing videos on Colin the Caterpillar. I've been doing videos
Mhm.
on Nike and Little Nas X. I've been doing videos on other campaigns that are going on, Heinz Beans and Weetabix. And so people expect an inside view that they would otherwise not get from the BBC or whatever else is going on. And I can provide that because I have worked in those industries. I sort of know how it works,
Mhm.
or I know people who are directly involved. I know people at M&S. I know people at Weetabix. I know people at Nike, and I can ask them. They won't tell me
Exactly.
anything um, insider, but
Yeah.
I can put the dots together, and I can share a perspective that people would otherwise not get. And I think that's what people find really interesting, because it just gives them a little bit more insight into what's going on.
Yeah, it's true. I totally agree. It's interesting. Do you struggle to find content?
I don't struggle to find content, but it is true that I have a list. So I have a document full of bullet points with ideas for videos. Full. I
Good
mean,
job. Interesting.
150, 200 bullet points on ideas. A lot.
Beautiful.
So I have them. What I do is I have 3 content pillars for my account. And what I try to do is I try to create content equally across the pillars. So whenever I see an interesting piece of content, or even an interesting video by another content creator that I can adapt to my niche, I will make a note. I will copy the link. I will leave it for the right
Yes.
time. But what I do often is I go on lives with my followers, and I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about creating content around this, this, and this. What do you think? is that something that you want to hear about, or is there maybe something else you want to hear about? I did that
Beautiful.
yesterday. I went on a live and I was like, here are 20 ideas that I have. Tell me which ones you're most interested in. Or tell me if there's any others that I haven't mentioned. And they always come up, with 5, 10 different ideas. And most of the time, the questions that I am being asked are quite complex. And you have to remember, on TikTok, you only have 1 minute. And really, you should only making videos that are maybe 20, 30 seconds long. So sometimes, they're very big questions like, what is marketing? And so what you actually do is you start breaking them down into components, and out of one question come 5 videos. So that's how I approach content, and I feel like that has actually worked really well for me over the last 2-3 months.
Interesting. And how was your first live?
Your first live is always terrifying. Don't let anybody else lie to you and be like, oh, they were comfortable. No, nobody's comfortable in their first live. It's a terrifying experience. But there's a couple of tips to make it less terrifying. The first one is have music on. Put your favorite music on in the background. Helps, because it's part of the terrifying experience is that you sit alone in a room and you're talking to a phone.
Exactly.
And you don't get any reaction. You don't get anything, like you're just talking into you feel like a crazy person. So having music in the background makes it feel a little bit better. The other thing is choose a format or choose a topic. So at the beginning, I would come prepared and I would be like, okay, today I want to talk about this, or today I want to talk about the Christmas campaigns. I remember that was my first live. I was talking about Christmas campaigns and Christmas advertising.
Wow.
And I was just doing basically and I actually called it. I said, this is a master class in Christmas advertising. And
Nice.
I would have like, how is an advert structured and how are they produced, and what are the different types and what are they trying to tell you, and here are like the best ones and here are the ones that really suck. And so I would just talk about that, and people naturally, when they feel that you have an agenda, they will naturally sort of fall into flow of things. There will be random people that will ask you random things, but you will sort of naturally start and go into the flow of things. A good thing to do is you could just do a basic Q&A. And so that is, I would say, the 2 or 3 tips I would give. The last thing that I would definitely say, if you have a friend that is on TikTok, it would be useful to have them on live with you as a moderator, maybe. Because they can filter out comments that you're maybe not comfortable with, or they're just there. They can help you with the conversation if things slow down a little bit. But at the beginning, I didn't have that. I only with growing and doing my lives nowadays, I have an audience of 5-10 people that are always on my live, and I've made them moderators.
Amazing.
And if they feel that I'm sort of getting stuck, because they've been on a lot of lives, if they feel like I'm sort of getting stuck, they will just help. They will just be like, Sonya, can you tell us about this? And it makes it a lot easier.
Another question. This is beautiful. You know why? Because if you not actually know them, I mean, face to face, or know as a person, it's beautiful that in some way they show love. This is the best way to show love on the internet side. But what kind of advice would you give to, for instance, a content creator went viral? Because it's very common on TikTok that you wake up tomorrow, you make this video, it's crap, viral, million followers. True story for a lot of people. But what do you suggest as a first live? They don't know their audience, because this is hard when you don't know anyone.
That is actually a big problem. So no, it's true. A lot of people, if you're a listener to this podcast and you have the goal of going viral, you need to ask yourself, why do you want to go viral? Because what happens a lot is when you go viral, especially, this is my number one piece of advice. You always go viral for a video that you didn't expect to go viral.
Oh my
Always.
gosh, 100%.
Always. You can have the best planned content in the world. The crappiest, shittiest video you make with the least amount of effort is the one that goes viral. I promise you.
Why? Why do you think?
Because
We don't know.
lot of the ones, because most of the time they're very relatable, they're very short.
Or sometimes we don't know what the markets want. We just, the last video that maybe,
no, for sure. But also what happens most of the time, and this is the reality, most of the time you don't go viral for your niche. You don't go viral for your specialty. You go viral for something completely different. I have gone viral for completely random things.
Me too.
I did like an introduction video where I was like, hi, my name is Sonya and I'm 30 years old. And because I look quite young, I literally like my comment section became like a dating website. It became like Tinder. And
how did you feel about it?
Do I want to go viral for looking pretty and having, like thousands of men like putting their Tinder date in my comment section? No. But do I have those followers now? Yes. I mean, after that video, I had 70% of my audience was male, even though 70% of all TikTok users are female. So my audience was
70% single man following you.
But to answer your question, when you go viral, you have to understand that very often your audience will not be who you think they are.
100%.
And that can actually sometimes kill an account. If you go viral often enough for things that are not related to your niche, what will happen is that when you put out content that is relevant to you and that you're passionate about, people might not care. The people that were trying to date me, they probably don't care about marketing. So I put out a video of, the next video about marketing, and instead of 1 million views, it gets 100 views. And so that can actually have a negative effect on your account.
Okay, I agree, but you can have anyway a lot of attention. Quick example, because in this case, in some way I can relate it. Okay, I've been making content for a year. It's a year I'm making content on TikTok, and I'm passionate about social media and marketing. And honestly, I had for a year I've made 400 videos, and my average was 100 views. I was complaining every day that TikTok was broken, the algorithm was broken, my accountant in some way, I don't know what's up with my account, I was complaining. Anyway, long story short, one day I said, the 1st of April, I had 195 followers. I said, I need to change something here. I edited a video about Joe Rogan. I came up with this idea to use as an intro, doing that, 2 million views. And now, today I have 20,000 followers. But I agree what you say. For instance, my passion is still marketing though.
And are the people that you that are now following you, are they passionate about marketing? Or are they passionate about you?
Maybe the video that I'm sharing, the video that I'm currently sharing, are motivational personal development. But it's a good question what you said. It's true. But you know what I think? If you have an audience, you can work with the audience. If I was with 195 followers, I was talking to myself every video. It's basically is like if you are in a room with 190 people that they don't listen, they don't do anything else. When instead, if you go in another room, you want to talk about something, you have 20 people that they can listen. It's a totally different audience. You're right, 100%, because these people, let me say, yeah, get out, man. But
No, but then you need to be willing to change, to pivot. So you changed into motivational videos because you saw that was working well on your account. And
exactly,
honestly, and good
exactly,
on you. Good on you. Because you were like, oh, okay, I was doing marketing content, didn't really work out. Then you did a motivational video. It blew, like you went
exactly.
viral.
Yeah,
And you were like, okay, I'm going to do more motivational content. And the
exactly.
good news is because you gained all these followers who are interested in motivational content, I'm sure your new content is doing very, very well because, that's why they started following you. Um, but there is a danger to going viral sometimes because maybe you don't want to change content. If you would have continued with your marketing content, you would have had 20,000 followers who are not interested in marketing.
I
What
totally
do you do
agree.
then?
I agree. I totally agree. And in these days, I've been thinking about it, and I always think at the best. And thinking about Gary Vee, if you think about it, he was basically before in a winery niche about wine, and then he changed it. He said initially they complained at the beginning, but I think I 100% love what you said. That obviously, if you want to talk about something and your audience doesn't want, is very a problem. It's a problem because it's like not doing what you love to do.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah,
is. But yeah, I think when you go live for the first time, to answer your question, let's say you go viral, you get 20,000
I did it.
followers, you just need to go on a live and get to know them. Like, what are you interested in?
I agree.
Why did you follow me? What did you like about the video? Almost do a little bit of like
I
consumer
like it.
research.
Exactly, it's true.
Um, because it's very likely that, especially because this is another thing. Sometimes you go viral, but you don't actually get a lot of followers. I mean, I've had a lot of like big videos where I actually didn't gain that many followers. They get a lot of likes, they get a lot of engagement, but people don't always follow you. They only
Exactly, it's
follow
true.
you if they really want to hear more about it and they are really engaged in the content. So if you have a video that blows and you get a lot of followers from it, then you have to get to know those followers. And the best way to do that is to go
Live.
live. By
Yeah,
far the best way, and just have a conversation with them.
I totally agree with you because sometimes, like you said, it's true. You go viral, then what's happened? So you have amazing visibility, but then people they watch your content, they just see like you have made 3 videos. They don't follow you, even if you got 2,000 million. Like people, they don't follow you for a single content. They want to see more. They want to see that your content, you're doing similar content, and in some way, I think is the best way. If you have to go viral, is best if you have a lot of videos. That's why consistency pay off.
100%. Consistency also pays off just because of chance, right? The
Mm,
more content you put
numbers.
out, the higher. It's a numbers game. It's like in Las
Mm,
Vegas. The more you play, the higher chance you have to go viral. That's just the thing. And so when you have all these social media gurus who are like, oh, you need to post 3 to 5 times a day, which is stupid. To be very, 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 very honest,
mhm.
stupid. You rather put out one piece a day that is high quality and that you're really like passionate about and you think is a good video and that you're proud of. You need to have fun. You need to
Exactly.
enjoy the content that you put out rather than putting out 5 6 videos of complete crap all day every day. And if you go viral with that one video, good on you. So I think it's all about consistency and being in it for the long term, as you said, because that's why people follow you. They follow you for consistency, good content that they enjoy.
100%. You as a content creator, which kind of difficulties have you faced at the moment or during your journey from 0 to 30,000?
Um, so my journey has been a little bit different to yours because I grew quite quickly.
Exactly.
I didn't really know what I was doing. And I have also shifted focus a little bit.
Mhm.
So at the beginning, I was just vlogging a lot of things that I was doing every day, and now I have shifted more into tools and like really empowering people. So I think my greatest difficulty was that at the beginning I was very hooked on views. Everybody's always hooked on views on TikTok. That is the first thing you get addicted to.
So 100%.
It's true. And the algorithm is built in a way that if you have a new account, you will get boosted. The algorithm will try and hook you in with high views. So it's actually very likely that you have a great performing first, second, or third video. But then after that, once the algorithm realizes that you are doing everything you
Exactly.
can, your videos will not get minimized, but you will just follow the normal algorithm, not the boosted algorithm, just the normal one. And
Exactly.
then suddenly you get these slumps. I call them valleys of death. So, like you have a peak of success and then you have a valley of death. And I promise you, every single TikToker I've ever talked with, and I'm sure you're the same, my analytics look like up, down, like a roller coaster, up, down, up, down, up, down. Like it doesn't go straight up. I have never seen a single content creator analytics that goes just straight up. Not a single one.
Probably because they want to push all the content creators. Random thought. Could be.
No, yeah, for sure, for sure. You give them like you give them serotonin when they're on a high. Then they go down.
People cry for less views.
You cry, you question all your life choices. Why are you here? What are you doing? And then you're like, no, I'm gonna try again. And then you go back up and you're like, oh, this is working, this is working, this is working. And then you go down again.
Exactly.
That's literally how it works. And so I think, to answer your question, the mental aspect of TikTok is something that a lot of people struggle with, and I
Exactly.
struggled with as well, because you start questioning yourself. You start questioning like your self-worth. You start questioning,
Gosh,
oh, is the
true.
content that I'm putting out is good enough? Everybody hates me. The algorithm hates me. All of
Exactly.
that sort of stuff. And it's irrelevant. The views are irrelevant. What you have to realize is the community. I know it sounds very
It's true.
esoteric, happy, hippie, but it
No.
honestly doesn't, the numbers do not matter. The community that you build matters. If you can build a community that is passionate about the same thing that you're passionate about, whatever content you put out, if it performs well or if it doesn't perform well, you know that they will enjoy it. And then the algorithm does with it whatever you want. I have videos that have 200, 300 views that I'm extremely proud of. And I have videos with, 500,000 views where I literally dance in front of a lake. And you're just like, in 30 years, will I look back at this and think this was a great educational experience? Probably not. But the community that I've built is incredible, really incredible.
Because you see as a number, but you can actually see them in a different perspective as a friend that you never met. You never meet.
Absolutely. And even though I don't have Instagram, what I tell people is to add me on LinkedIn. And the amount of emails and the amount of LinkedIn messages
Beautiful.
that I've received that tell me, Sonya, I applied your interview tips and I got the job at Nike. I
Love it.
applied your advice and I got a job at Johnson & Johnson. You helped me find this freelance work. You helped me grow my business. Those messages, I live for those messages. That is the actual reward, not the views, not the likes.
It's true.
Those messages are the reason why I do what I do.
Exactly. Last question, the most important one. Which kind of advice would you give to your content creators that are making content online, that they are struggle, they don't see any result? What advice would you give to them? The last shot.
The most difficult question at the end. if you don't see the results that you
Exactly.
expect, you have to admit and realize that you may be doing something wrong.
Esatto. Exactly. Sorry. I said in
No,
Italian, but it's true.
it's true. Maybe your content is not wrong, but maybe how you deliver it. Maybe it's how you say things. Maybe it's your hook is not strong enough.
Mm,
Social media is all about social media is not about creativity. Do not be fooled. Do not think you have to be creative to be good in marketing or in social media. You do not have to be creative. Everything that is successful has already been done in the world of social media. What you have to do is you have to be honest with yourself, look at your analytics, look at videos that have performed better than average in the past,
mhm.
look at your competitors, look at what other brands are doing, look at what your consumers are asking you. Are they asking you? What are they asking your competitors? What are the questions that they're really interested in? How are they phrasing those questions? And then you have to take that and plug it into your content. That is the honest answer to that. You don't have to
Mhm.
be creative, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, but you have to be honest with yourself and you have to put in the work and you have to really try and understand what people are interested in. And if you do that, I promise you, your content will do a lot better because you're actually answering people's questions.
Great, great answer. Yeah, it's true, 100%. If something doesn't work, you need to change it. There is no other way. I
No,
totally
because
agree.
you cannot expect to do the same thing 1,000 times and for it
Mm,
to work out differently.
exactly, it's true. 100% is true. If it doesn't work, change it. The topic maybe is not relevant, change with another one. Yeah, I totally agree with you. 100% good advice. Love it. Thank you so much to be with me. It was an amazing podcast. I really appreciate you. Your really amazing advice and amazing story you have. Keep going what you're doing, and thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for getting in touch. And thank you so much for being an amazing creator yourself. And I'm sure we'll see each other again very soon.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Bye bye.